1, 2. Yeah. Yes. It is always good to love your neighbor as you love yourself, Mfetu. So we do not discriminate here on the Happy People TV. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to the channel. I am your host, KB, and this is the Giants of Soweto podcast. And across the table from me, I am joined by a unfortunate Amakhosi supporter, a lifelong. It's a chronic Amakhosi supporter, Mr. Khotso. What's up, man?
Hey, it's unfortunate, but at least I won this weekend, so I'm not coming here embarrassed. But no, I'm okay, man. How you doing?
I know. Oh, man. How am I doing? That's a trick question right now. It's like, are you serious? How am I doing? Hey, man, I know that my colors bring me good luck day in, day out, week in, week out as an Orlando Pirates supporter. So let me just tell the folks that, we're going to go through the state of the club's address. I will be updating everybody about Orlando Pirates. Khotso will be updating us about what is going on there on the other side of town. And then what I like also is that we're going to go through the world of football and talk about training issues. And luckily, it is an international break, so there's a lot of international things happening. And yeah, guys, you don't want to miss that. Happy People TV, Giants of Soweto, Spongena. You baba, Mr. Khotso Mfethu. I don't know, dog. I don't know if it's typical for me to be screaming out Iratape, the superhero, and talking about 6 goals and everything. You can even see with the thumbnail. We are drinking the tears of Tears Galaxy, and yeah, Team Rocket is blasting off again. I think what would be maybe more informative for the people is to hear what's going on with Kaizer Chiefs. There's actual news there, guys. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, there's actual stuff happening with Chiefs that are probably of concern for our neighbors. And they support us in our games. So maybe we should at least hear what they are crying about.
I was hoping we were just gonna start with Pirates because whenever you search for Chiefs news, or the thing is, because I support Chiefs, my Twitter is also saturated with Chiefs news or Chiefs memes. Tell me why we can't get a single player into the national team, but one of the co-coaches gets a call-up from his national team. I didn't even know that's the thing. That your coach can get a call-up, but not your players. Couldn't believe this, bro.
Your coach
Kaizer got called up by Burundi, and Chiefs has released him because that's the only
Burundi
thing.
Is he from Burundi?
I would assume so because they're playing for the AFCON. But isn't the preliminary for AFCON?
Hey.
So Burundi called him up, and Chiefs said, we're doing nothing for a while, so might as well.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, Chief. I mean, I did, as you told me about this thing for the first time, right? I consulted Mr. Coach, and I'm like, no, we trying to talk about this and this for the topics, right? And then I tell him about this, and he's like, whoa, don't you know international break is supposed to be business as usual? Not, hey, go on holiday, hey, you, long weekend, you, hey, where are you going for this international break? So don't you guys need the hands at the club at the moment? Don't you guys need the help?
I mean, we've got another coach. When they say have 2 people in every position, I didn't know it also when it says none of you are playing for Bafana.
Yo, I got cut off there for a second there, my guy. I got cut off there for a second. The last thing I caught there was you actually getting into explaining, Hore. You guys have 2 players, two people in every position.
We've got depth in squad, man. I was trying to explain, Hore. I think when the technical team at Kaizer Chiefs were trying to study the idea of depth in squad, because if you look at a team like Arsenal this year, they made sure they've got 2 in every position. So Chiefs is like, 2 in every 2 coaches. Chiefs, no, man. Depth in squad means the actual squad, not the coach. But I don't know, man. I guess the other guy has to stay with the team and coach them. I'm sure he said he didn't get a call up. He's asking his fellow coach, what must I do to get a call up by my national team? There's nothing to do. We're not playing for a cup. We're playing for flipping position. Like Kaizer Chiefs is just a Popeye. I don't understand this football club. And I feel like Kaizer Chiefs fans also aren't angry enough also, because when you look at the socials and also that protest we tried to do, Kuna Chorena, don't even know if you call that a protest.
When was this?
I remember when we lost to you guys. I think it was before or after the Kaizer Motaung Jr. interview? I can't remember. All I know is that it's not memorable for a reason. I mean, you had a taxi full of people at Natural, maybe less, and they called it a protest. And then apparently we went to find out, no, you're not a Kaizer Chiefs fan unless you're a branch member or something. I didn't know that being born is not enough. I was born in the shed, but apparently I need to be a branch member. Like, there's so much nonsense going on that I'm not even surprised that something as funny as your coach getting a national call-up when not even one Kaizer Chiefs fan is on the Bafana squad call-up. I'm not surprised, bro. Like, I'm so tired of this club at this point.
Man, that's some crazy stuff. So right now, would you say you guys are happy to be fighting for top 8? Are you actually going for Africa? What are your goals, and how is your journey in terms of reaching those goals so far right now at this business end of the season? This is the last break we are getting.
Look, from my perspective, it's a failure of a season. I know people are saying top 8, but I feel like there's too much of an obsession with the top 8, because all it does is that it qualifies you for a competition. It's not a trophy. You get me? It's not like top 8 means I'm going to win MTN 8. First of all, Pirates have won it 3 or 4 times now in a row. So you're going to go compete in a trophy that your city rivals are always winning. My expectation was to improve on the league position, which we're doing, but also to try and defend Nedbank. We didn't do that, period. We just showed up. We just said, hello, guys. Here's our invitation to the tournament.
So you had some hope there, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it's not even hope. Like when you're the holder of something, you have to defend it. Like, you can't give it away. I wasn't expecting to just outright win it, but to get knocked out first round, not even trying, it was just shameful. So for me, that's why I'm saying it's a failure. And also, I count success in trophies. So if you get to the end of the year and you win from 9th to 4th, but no trophy, it's still failure. You did nothing. All you did was be a participant. I mean, number 4 is what, 5th loser, because key number 1 loser is number 2. I don't know. Do the math for yourself. I just don't think it's success. Success is measured with trophies, because in 2 years' time, if I ask you who had a successful season, more 25, 26, nobody's going to remember that Kaizer Chiefs improved their league standing and went to 4th. But you're going to remember that Pirates won MTN 8, you won Carling, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Then
we've got the 2 so far. Yeah.
You've got the 2. I know you got knocked out of Nedbank, but you're competing for the league. So the league might be another trophy you had. That's what people are going to be. You can reference that. Those, even if I don't remember, I can Google 2026 when I'm trying to argue. And then a Pirates fan is going to say to me, Amakhosi, me, I've got 2 trophies. I got 2 trophies. What do you have? I can't say, but if you look at me, I improve my league standings. So that's why when I say to people, Mara, we improved. No, guys. And even when I'm listening to Flip and Kaizer Jr. there on Marawa Sports World, I'm like, I've been telling KP and been telling coach, I've been telling everyone that management is a problem, because and this is another thing that adds pain to my or salt to my wound.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading Al Ahly today. Al Ahly got kicked out of the Champions League. Obviously, these
Yeah.
people take drastic measures from jumpers, fired the whole
Mm,
scouting
mm.
department, finding
Yep.
players. Mara was asking Chief, is there going to be one coach?
Yeah.
We need to look at the end of the season. I'm like,
Yeah.
do you know or not
Yeah.
know what your plans for next season are? It's that
Mm,
simple. Like, is two coaches the future of the club or not? Yes or no? I don't think it is. Personally, I've never seen it work anywhere.
Yeah.
But the fact that these people are still, playing or dancing around the issue when
Mm.
you see, this is how I know that we're not a big club. We're a big club in name, but in action, the actions give small club energy. To be honest,
I get that whole thing of you're not angry enough. What is keeping everybody going?
Kaizer Chiefs fans are just like ANC fans. They just believe in the next 4 years something will happen
They just
somehow
believe
by
every
some
year the
miracle.
next 4 years.
The next 4 years, if we just vote for this guy, it will happen, and it never. If anything, it becomes worse. I don't know, bro. I don't. Maybe the last 10 years of not winning stripped us of any sort of expectation. For the fact that we celebrated last year's cup as if it was the league. Oh, we beat Pirates! Yeah, we win the league! Yeah.
Even that, when you talk about celebrating it, it never really got the props that it deserved, because I remember even after you won it, you still wanted Nabi out, right?
Yeah,
And you are still standing behind that decision.
yeah,
This is what you wanted.
yeah. Not this. You see, these guys took what I wanted
Yeah.
and somehow came up with a bad version of it. Because
Yeah.
I said, let Nabi finish, it's fine, but have a succession plan to say, next guy, what are we doing? And also the transfer. I remember at that time speaking to you guys. The transfer strategy didn't also fill me with confidence because if your competitors are spending a lot of money to improve the quality of their squads, and you are just taking from what they don't need or want anymore, how are you going to compete with them? Because they're in effect saying they are not good enough for us. But no, you can have it. I'm not wearing these pairs of shoes. They're not bad. They You can wear them. I just don't want to wear them anymore. So
Yeah. Don't need them.
it's not that, yeah, it's not that I want to be here, but I think getting rid of Nabi was the right thing. It's just a matter of how they did it, when they did it. What they did afterwards was also crazy, keeping these guys and saying, no, we're gonna stick with interims. For how long, bro? For more than over half a season, you want interims? Come on, come on. That's why it's even hard to enjoy beating Magesi because I feel so disconnected from the club. I don't feel like my ambitions and Kaizer Chiefs are on the same wavelength.
Did the fan base support this whole thing of hiring the translators to be the head coaches, co-coaches, and oust
Um,
the boss? How
I
did
think
everybody feel?
I think there was a lot of confusion at that time because at first it was Nabi doesn't have papers for Africa, so he can't travel with Africa. And then we go into Africa, we come back. Oh, there's been a fallout between it. Again, the way Chiefs broke the news and the build up to it was just confusing for people. So I don't even think the Amakhosi fans had a chance to even react. And like I said, my fan base, um, positive to a fault. I don't think they're angry enough. There's
Okay.
a loud minority that was very
You
unhappy
you
about it.
will remember. You will. Okay, sorry. I was getting to that. Vele Vele, what percentage would you give that?
I would say like about, I don't know, 30% of the fan base is very hurtful.
Happy. Okay, hurtful. Okay.
Hurtful.
Hmm, that's not enough. That's
It's
not
not,
enough.
it's not enough. I just feel like there's too many fans that are willing to just move on the way we are. They're not willing to. But I'm seeing people in other teams not go to games, not buying merchandise, nothing, no audience. The teams are losing money because their supporters are tired. Clearly, my fans are not. In fact, we've got fans that are telling us, me, that you are not a real fan for being angry and for protesting. And I'm like, but what am I watching, guys? Top eight. Is that this show is called the Giants of Soweto. The other giant is going for a league title. And I must celebrate top eight. That's what
You
you
must
want me.
celebrate Magesi 2-0. Well done, boys. Well done, friends.
It feels like getting a gold star in class for being quiet. Okay, you did the bare minimum. Well done. I
Well
don't know.
done. Yeah. No. For me, I think the biggest reason why I'm asking is like, okay, with us, if something is changed
Mm,
and we lose, and then we want to blame that change on losing, whoever is the victim of that blame will not sleep at night properly that night, kind of thing. What loss, and so I'm just asking myself, you guys only had 2 wins after you changed coaches,
mm.
and you're telling me that was more than enough credit in the bank for them to go on to have an average run right after that. Like every time you draw or not win, you're supposed to be like, hey guys, why are these guys here? That guy didn't have a badge. I think these guys don't have badges. If you're trying to talk about badges.
No matter,
So
let's just use logic. Okay, let's just use logic. It's not that we got interims, ne? It's that the interims were the coaches of the guy you fired. So do you think that Nabi was doing this job alone? What is the point of a technical team? So when Chiefs is spotting whatever, looks at the situation and says, no, Nabi has to go. Why are the people he brought with him staying? Because they were part and parcel of whatever strategy. And then you know what? In fact, Kazam Tabung actually answered it. I don't even have to guess. That man said for continuity. I said, brother, you are high because Nabi could have been continuity if that's what you're looking for. You can't
did I
fire the
did
coach.
I did I just hear you say continuity coming from your top ranks?
Yes, they said no. And get it, we've got a plan. And as far as they are concerned, we are still on the path to attain that plan. So for continuity, we're gonna keep these people. I'm like, but okay, can I just quickly Google when we fired Nabi? I need to be reminded. When I just want to Google this because it's crazy what these people are saying. When did Chiefs?
All I know is that by the time it happened, you guys had Bomba 6 points out of 9, and it was a very big Christmas on the other side of
We
Soweto.
started it very well, bro. That's why I'm confused. So
I know what really happened. It's just that conspiracy theories don't go down well on the internet, so
no, we have
it's
to have
fine.
them because we hardly ever get the truth. But anyway, we fired Nabi, or they say we parted ways, if you want to be political, on the 17th of September last year.
Woo!
So if the league starts, what, in August,
Yep.
September, it's
Hmm.
you've only gone 1 month, 1.5 month into the league campaign. You can't for me, for me, interim says I can't get to where I want to be, but they can stabilize me to just get to next year. That's what an interim for me is. And that's how I perceived keeping the technical staff guys. I didn't see them as a long-term plan because you can't have two coaches. Sundowns had two coaches and they're the best team in the land. It didn't work. You are not even the best. Okay? You're not the best. So don't try this two
Coach
people.
business. And by zama ele kgale tswile fashioning. You're trying to have coaches in the 25-26 World Cup season. You are drinking your South African based players because now you giving them no chance. Yeah, but as you said, so you said you thought it was a interim based thing, so you were hoping to hear maybe, I don't know, towards the end of the year. Yeah, last year, hore. Yeah, by the way, about that interim thing, we have found someone for next season. something like that. That's what you could have accepted, maybe.
I was disappointed that they fired Nabi without having a plan, because you can't go 1 month into a campaign. Mind you, we're not competing for MTN 8, so there's still other trophies to play for. Get a permanent coach, bro. How long has I know I keep saying him, but I want Pizzo personally. Kwatla Pizzo. My guy, you guys say you are friends. You guys say there's a relationship with the family and the club. Why is the relationship not extending to Chief? You don't have a job. How much do you want? At least try, bro. If you guys say you tried to get jingles, Mara, the price was not pricing, it's fine. Not that I believe it, but at least you spoke to the guy. But I know you're not speaking to
your
him
fan
because
base
he's
would make a
saying things.
noise. Your fan base would make a noise and say, "What do you mean we don't have the money?" I
Oh,
believe.
these happy go merry fans, bro. Like, I support two clubs where I have to fight with the fans and the owners. It's so exhausting, bro. Because it's like, if you don't want to win, there's what 10 from number 10 downwards, there's other clubs that don't care about winning also. Support them. You don't have to be here where we want to win.
Can I cheer you up, Mr. Khotso?
You can try.
We born Pirates and TS Galaxy. Didn't that just, when you have those football one moments when you're watching a game as maybe a neutral, you're like, yeah, you see there, the better team won.
Can I ask you a question though?
Doesn't that game just bring you joy when you think about it? Like, man, but really, the thing I need to wax lyrical about right now, and I know it's kind of played out, but El Presidente, oh my goodness, dude, did you watch the game live?
Yes, I did. But can I ask you a question?
Did you see the president?
I did, but still,
Does he get your vote? Should he get another term? Ladies and gentlemen in the chat, should Mufokeng get another term as the president? Does he deserve it? Yeah.
I don't know. He's showing up in the second half of the season. We missed him in the first half of this season. We were worried about him.
He's been putting in 7.5 to 8.5 per game. This time he decided, no, this football
I remember
mine.
Buccaneers even getting worried before Magesi Sama. You guys were like, hey, you see, if Mfano doesn't pull up his socks, he'll be watching as others move forward. Yeah, now Salim. You guys, your fan base said that, not us, outsiders. So that's what I'm saying. Is he's showing up in the second half of season. But I've got a question, because I thought Bavuma was the worst thing I've ever seen. Who's that guy from Tears Galaxy?
Iratape! Hold up. I'm playing an explosion here. I'm playing an explosion. Sorry, I was playing an explosion. Let me do it over time, guys. He deserves it. You asked me a question. What were you asking me?
Who's the Tears Galaxy goalkeeper?
Iratape! Woo! Okay.
No.
Oh, man.
Some of those dives. Is that guy? No, we have to investigate. Is he a real football player?
I would be doing all the investigation if I was a Kaizer Chiefs journalist. If I was a Kaizer Chiefs or Mamelodi Sundowns journalist, I would be doing all that. Man, do you know what I love about it? It's a storyline for me, bro. I saw that game from the beginning. Iratape, the Ivorian, I think is Ivorian, the Ivorian short stopper, Iratape. He wanted his name in lights from the beginning, bruv. He wanted his name in lights from the beginning. Okay. He would do that thing that scumbag goalkeepers do with the dark arts of faking injuries and just wasting time on your own and drawing attention to yourself. Like, oh no, the keeper's down, everybody stop. After 2 minutes, he saves one, a big corner, Habatli corner, in same time. Oh my God, the keeper's hurt. Wait 5 minutes. And I'm like, hold on. This guy is trying to be too famous. I'm fair too. So for that picture moment of his that he can't run away from for a while, in that picture moment, he was trying to give us a Hollywood save. How do you go for a Hollywood save instead of just keeping calm? You guys are already losing, just save like normal. He goes for the TV save and then it slips through his Vaseline gloves. And I'm like, well, you got your TV moment, Mr. Tape. Ira Tape.
That
That's
guy
my
makes
favorite guy, bro.
Roma look like a competent goalkeeper. There was 2 particular goals I saw, and I said, this is not how. I think it was a back pass from the TS Galaxy defender. Why
Yes.
is the goalkeeper still on the floor, first of all? But also, that recovery attempt from him, that guy could not be bothered. You know when you're on leave or you're about to go on leave.
Okay, yeah.
When you're about to go and leave and work comes in and you're just like, That's what I saw from that save. I just saw, that's why I'm already losing. I was like, nah, chief. And then the second goal, I know you want to rebuttal. Nah. The second goal that I noticed it wasn't the free kick. It was the other almost top bin shot. Like one of your players, Ushapile, touch 10.
Yes.
He could have caught the ball. Oh, my man. I don't know if he caught it and let go.
That's the one I'm talking about. I call it the Vaseline touch. The Vaseline
I can't
save.
understand that goal till today. I'm like, how? How did that happen? You had the ball.
That man was trying to make a Hollywood save, and he forgot that it needs to be a save for it to make it to the Oscars. And yeah, so I just want to say something just as a record on the internet. I haven't had anybody give this man his flowers. Mbunjana deserves his flowers for his own goal. Why? Ne? Sheba mfethu. That man unashebile keeper, ne? Was the keeper on his feet? And I saw it again. The keeper was on his side.
And the
direction that he passed the keeper at, he didn't pass it towards his feet. He passed it towards his hands. Do you know what happens if he actually takes that ball with his hands? It becomes a back pass. So what were you doing in the first place? So you wanted him to handle that ball so you can have an indirect free kick inside the box and look like fools. And there would have been so many. I don't know which Mumish is better. If we had an indirect free kick from that and then scored.
Indirect. Because indirect is still harder to score. That other, I can't believe what I saw, bro. This guy is lying down. And even the attempt, it's like.
He's like, hold that. He literally said, hold that, blood. Hold
that. You see me,
who's more drunk? It's like, no, I should drive. I'm sober. You are drunk. No, I should drive. You are drunk. I'm sober. And they are both.
Did you see the internet though? Sundowns fans are calling brown envelope on Pirates. How do you feel about that one?
They are calling what?
Brown envelope for some of the shenanigans that happen in that backline.
Hey man. That's a good segue to the next topic. But brown envelope, mfethu. Well. Hey man. Nobody no matter. Nobody no matter, mfethu.
There's no fan that would ever.
But also, what do they call it? It was a long weekend. It was a long weekend that weekend. Yeah.
This is how disinterested I am. You know, you can't look at your competitors and be a hater. When your own club is abusing you, you have to deal with your abuser. Can't even focus on hate properly. I can't even hate properly like I'm supposed to. I was supposed to be angry. There was that one goal though. And one of my friends, Kile Pakania, he was like PTSD for Olam Tutu. It was that corner kick one that we conceded as well.
Yeah.
I said, We're never gonna let that one go. Eh? Hey,
It
Chiefs.
was glorious, man. Glorious, glorious. Like I said about the other topic, too, I think like I feel like if I start talking about the Ratape and if I start going through the goals, I will never stop. So let's look international, Mfetu. And you and I have been speaking offline about this topic for a while, and it is very divisive, apparently. Guys, I don't know where you guys stand in the chat or in the comments on the replay. Where do you stand when it comes to this whole Senegal Morocco issue of the AFCON of the CAF? Oh, look at me. All right. Yeah, I opened the wrong page there. I wanted to open over there. Yes, over there. Where do you guys stand with this Senegal issue? Because yeah, it is more divisive than I thought. I have been getting backlash from the technical director of the channel, Mr. Coach. I will name you and shame you, saying that Morocco did the right thing or they are not wrong for what they did. Senegal cheated and they got punished, and they must hand over back the trophy. They must shakul the name from the cup itself. And yeah, Mfethu, how far are you with this story, and where do you stand, Chief?
First of all, I can agree that there is precedence for Senegal breaking rules, but they are not cheaters. Senegal is the only two of those teams that was playing football in that game. It is the
Yeah.
only two of those teams that was not stealing people's towels during the course of this tournament. So if we want to label anybody cheaters, it's the people who failed the actual brown envelope. This one's it's brown envelope. I don't care what nobody says to me. Is that is the first time we've seen a failed brown envelope. And rather than accepting that their Italian job or rather their African job failed,
The
they
Moroccan
decided
job.
the Moroccan job it
I
failed.
go no. Yeah, yeah.
They decided to say, "Oh, we can't win illegally. We're gonna win legally," which is ironic because if you wanted to win legally, just be good on the pitch, finish and clear. Then you've done it. You've done it.
Okay, you know what? Bitch. I've had this. I've been bottling this one up for too long. This topic.
No, you can start.
Bo,
Me,
Nampit,
I've got notes. I've got notes written down.
you've got notes. I've also got notes, Chief.
That's how
Yes.
passionate about this topic. I had to think
Yo,
and
touch my
write.
blood, Njaya. Touch my blood. Lavantum Fetsu, you know what? Let me outline the legal one. Nah?
Yes.
Legally, there's three things. Schedule, I don't know, Appendix 24 or whatever. There's three rules. The one is about leaving the pitch.
Mm.
The other one is about whether you should stop it or not or whatever. But then it's also got to do with what Senegal did and the final
Yeah.
whistle. And then
Yeah.
there's the third rule, number 84, or something like that, where it's all about one of the actual rules that you break that can actually qualify for somebody's results to actually be overchanged after the final whistle is actually the walkout one. It just so happens that legally they're actually well within their right. Okay, but now this section 82 rule, the one of walking out, I don't know
Mm.
if it's linked with the actual walking out one, but like I said, there's two. I'm just getting mixed up on which is which. But
Yeah.
that one,
So
it
to
says
help
it
you,
brings the game to disrepute.
distribute. So to help you,
Okay, yeah.
it's articles 82 and 84.
It,
Those
yeah.
two have to happen together in
Uh-huh.
order for the presidents of overturning to happen. So 82 is the one that states a team leaving without referee permission. 84, for it to also come into effect, the game had to also be called off. So it can't be one or, it has to be both. I just wanted to put it
Mm-hmm.
out there. So that's the one thing. People keep citing Article 82 as a justification to
Okay.
overturn it.
Yeah. So wait, what needs to happen to be able to overturn it
Don't
after the
worry.
fact?
I was here with Grok. I'm going back into my history. I'll read the acts for you.
Okay,
Me,
but the
me
point
and
is
Grok.
they
Yeah,
might have
yeah.
found
Come
a
on.
loophole. They might have found a loophole. And
Of course they did.
clearly, with whatever is happening right now, it is actually a correct loophole. We'll see what Cass says, because it's also in a way where both people can be right. It's just about who's got the most power and how brown is your envelope. So about the brown envelopes, the office
Mm.
that is held by the let me say the Ivan Khoza of Moroccan football, right? Um,
Mm.
I forgot his name. Do you know his name?
It's Ivan. I can't even say that name. Ikran something something or another. I have it here. I just don't know how to
Aware?
say his name. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah. So
But
that guy, yeah,
he's the head of the FA of the Moroccan FA. I know that much.
and he's also,
Vice
if I'm
president.
not incorrect, he's Motsepe's right hand man. Yes.
Yes, vice president of CAF. He's the other guy that was there with the FIFA president and Motsepe. That's him.
Mm, mm,
Yeah.
mm, mm,
Can you imagine
mm.
conflict of interest? Vice
So manje,
president.
Ntshele, do you know what the rumor is? Do you know
I,
what the
I
rumor
think I,
is
I think I know,
about
but
how much time that man spends in the office, or Kev Motsepe?
no, I didn't know this one. How much time?
Apparently, if you work there at those offices, you're gonna see him. The amount of times you're gonna see him in that office in a year, you can count on one hand. Now, what does that tell you about who's handling the day-to-day business?
Is this guy? I found his
It's
name. Yeah,
this man.
is
Yeah.
this one for Fauzi Lekja?
Yes. Yes.
Fauzi
Yes.
Lekja.
Yeah. So basically he's the one who's running CAF. If this was a South Africa thing and Motsepe was the president, would it look any different?
No, it would look sus. And the worst part is that people don't want to admit. If it was any other part of Africa and we had this situation, no, Morocco's keeping their title. We're not taking it from them. We look too dodgy.
So the man who is running CAF is the one who did his research and said, "Oh no, I see something here in this rule book. We can actually still win this. I'm overturning the decision. Does anybody disagree?" No, boss.
Disagree, you're fired. That's what would happen, allegedly. Hey, I'm
Allegedly.
speculating. I'm speculating. Okay.
I'm just saying, that's you just said Honano conflict of interest, and
Yeah,
I
it's a
just I added way more fuel to that conflict of interest fire. It's like, hey, I'm just waiting for approval from this other guy, and then next thing you know, it's coming to the same office because the guy who needs to approve it is the guy who made the claim in the same at the same time. Allegedly.
allegedly.
Allegedly. But what do you think it has done for the way we look at African football in the world? You know how it is every year. It's an AFCON in the top 5 leagues of Europe. They're like, no, all these Africans are going to the dumb tournament, and yeah, it's been branded as a non-serious tournament, one that is, yeah, not taken seriously. And then they're like, oh no, Senegal brought the game into disrepute. Yeah, really? Everybody felt like it was justice. You are the ones bringing it into disrepute, allegedly. But yeah,
Senegal
what do you
bringing
think
it
is,
into,
yeah,
this is called victim blaming for me. Because Senegal's just a victim. But from the moment those guys landed for the final, they've been harassed at airports, traveling with trains. These guys tried by all means to play this thing, guys. This whole idea of Senegal brought the game into disrepute. Okay, whatever. I just think that's too simplistic. This thing is not black and white. That's why I think the biggest culprit here is the referee. But anyway, I want to add more fuel to the fire because you know what's funny for me is that there was two CAF governing bodies that made a decision, and both of these bodies couldn't even agree on how to apply the rules. In case people were wondering, it's not that CAF agrees with Morocco. There's a governing body that said no, everything happened according to the book. Senegal is fine. Then another body within CAF said, hang on, but according to article this, and this should happen. So if CAF themselves can't agree on the rules, how do we know that they know what they're doing? It makes us look like Popeyes. It makes us look incompetent. It makes us look like the clowns they've always believed. Except now they've got a point of reference when they're telling us we're not a serious competition.
You know,
It,
Mitsupe actually supported that.
well,
Dr. He was saying, Hore, hey man, look, nobody's really running the show independently. We've got, or nobody's running the whole organization with an iron fist. This body said it was right, and this body said it was wrong. Hey, look at how independent they are. I'm like, really? In that 6-minute video that they released on Supersport, I'm like, is that what you're gonna be proud of? The fact that two bodies can't come to an agreement and there's a third body that can solve it all. He's like, so basically he just washed his hands and he was like, I know there are bodies for these things that can take these decisions, and they are, they can't be corrupt because they are independent. So yeah.
I
Mm,
think they should have
mm.
gone if it was this deep, nah, and they didn't want the controversy. Morocco should have went to the court of what is it? Arbitration and sports. What CAS? Those guys.
That's the one that where the appeal is going. Yeah.
They should have. Senegal's doing the right thing because, like, if we can't argue in the same department about this thing, get somebody outside of us. Because another thing that comes into play outside of CAF rules is the IFAB rules, right? So it's not just our regulations and articles, it's the international footballing bodies rules that say that the ref's decision is final. So if this thing goes beyond CAF, why didn't you go and get beyond CAF people to look at this? It's because you want to control every aspect of this. There's a lot of things that people are forgetting about that announcement that make it even more dodgy besides the vice president guy. First of all, these people who makes an announcement during Champions League football at night when most of Africa is going to bed or watching Champions League football, that's dodgy. You're not interested in informing us. You're just leaving it out there just so you can say you made a statement. Number two, you guys held the CAF women's thing to ransom, in my opinion, when you decided to cancel at the 11th hour and only reinstated after declaring Morocco the champions. Is that suspicious? You can decide for yourself. Even more so when you consider that South Africa had offered to step in because Morocco alleges they couldn't host the women's CAF because of logistical reasons, allegedly. South Africa said, okay, we can do it. They said, no. And then they prolonged it until men one CAF equals now we can host the women's CAF. Do with that information what you will do. I'm just saying the optics around it makes Morocco look very thirsty for a trophy. Is all I'm saying. It's dodgy.
Yo, bruh. And also the little things surrounding the whole ball boys taking the goalkeeper's gloves and the substitute keeper was Senegal having to protect not the gloves, the towel that they rub their gloves
Oh,
with,
bro.
that they
The
dry their
defending
gloves
that
with.
one
It's
for
like
his life, bro. And you know
he
what's funny about
and he
that?
got fought by Dintwana, Mfethu. Nashapa ke Dintwana.
You know what's funny? Remember
Mm.
originally Morocco and Senegal both got fined initially before like this whole thing.
Yes.
So besides them getting the trophy, another thing came out, and I think a lot of people might have missed this. Some of the fines that Morocco had fell away altogether, and others were reduced. Senegal's fines were not reduced; they were kept the
Yo.
same.
They gave them 3.5, ne? Something like that. Out of like 60,000 or something like
Yeah,
that.
like Senegal's one, bro. It's very wild. So basically, Morocco had like a 100K fine for the Tau incidents and a 200K fine for the ball boys. Some of these were reduced or dropped. Whereas Senegal's 300 and those big fines that Senegal had never got touched. So even if you're saying that Senegal
Ah,
brought the tribute and were punishing them, why are Morocco's fines for their crimes now going down or getting removed or scraped?
that shows you. That shows you how these things can be altered, because it is an alteration. I'm not saying anything. I'm not trying to incriminate anybody when I say altered. They were altered. Yeah, Mfethu. So I don't know how that's fair at all. Mfethu. I don't know how that's fair. But you guys decide, guys. Who do you think is the fair one? And yeah, there's different players are coming out. I think Hakimi came out and said, "Nah, I don't want the trophy." the guy who scored the goal. No, Idrissa Gana Gay is, I think, one of the Senegal team players that actually said, you know what, let them have it. And yeah, so this whole thing of did you hear about actually Senegal keeping the trophy in a military base or something like that?
Bro, I saw the coach go to that military base. That was hilarious. But like, I don't blame them, bro, because if we're gonna make this thing a joke and a circus, why not, bro? Let the meme-a-thon begin, bro. I would do the same thing. Yo, especially if this was South Africa, us and being funny and memes, we are goated, bro. We would be so. I would take it to Robben Island and say, bruh,
You
please come, please. In fact, South Africa's got a base in Antarctica. Let's take it all the way there. If you can
yeah.
get the Arctic Circle, you've earned your trophy. But before we conclude, I just wanted to clarify the articles because I have it in front of me.
Danko.
So Article 82 and 83 is what 84 speaks to. So you have to contravene 82 and 83. So Article number 82 says, if for any reason whatsoever, a team withdraws from a competition or does not report for a match, or refuses to play, or leaves the ground before the regular end of the match without the authorization of the referee, it shall be considered a loser and shall be eliminated for good from the current competition. So that's 82. 83 says, so Article 83 only covers teams not showing up at kickoff. The referee registers it in his report, but the organizing committee, which is CAF, takes the final decision. So 83 is no show. 82 is the working off part. So Article 84 says the team which contravenes the provisions of Article 82 and 83, and it doesn't say all, by the way. It says if they contravene both 82 and 83 shall be eliminated from the competition for good from the competition. This team will lose its match by 3-0 unless the opponent scored a more advantageous result at the time when the match was interrupted. In this case, the score will be maintained. The organizing committee may adopt further measures. So, in other words, for 84 to even be considered, both 82 and 84, I mean 83 have to come into effect. Filing would have to have been done by the ref. Then fine, 84 happens. But because the referee allowed play to happen, international law number 5 came into effect that says decisions of the referee regarding facts connected with play, including whether or not a goal is scored or the result of the match, are final. The decisions of the referee and all other match officials must always, not sometimes, must always be respected.
Yeah,
In other words, because the referee took the decision to continue play, and the fact that play played out, and the fact that the penalty which was originally awarded was taken, and the fact that extra time was taken, all under the official supervision, then that decision should be final. Therefore, Law 5 supersedes Article 84.
We shayes konkosini. That's exactly how I believe it to be, and for this thing to be like this, for like I said at the beginning when we were opening this topic, for this thing to actually be something that we are debating whether it's right or not, that's a bit crazy because it's clearly wrong. Everybody knows, whether you have studied football law or not.
It stinks,
The final
bro.
whistle is the final whistle. How many things, like the things that can be changed in my experience is probably you know how they say straight red sometimes is overturned and turned into a basically only one match ban instead of three.
One
You know
match out of three.
those situations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you can change things like that, but the result of the actual game, especially because this is something that happened on pitch, on the field. It happened during Wangtol. It didn't
Yeah.
happen because if you look at the situation with Tebo Mokoena, with us and him and us losing to Lesotho that 3-0 and whatever. That
Yes.
was an admin issue. It's not something that started on the pitch.
On the
Wangthola.
pitch.
So
Yeah.
that it's on the books before the referee actually has nothing to do with it because that's not even his job. His job is for the game. And according to him, the game went the way it was supposed to. If somebody was on the pitch illegally, then whoever's job it is to make sure that doesn't happen, or to prosecute the person in charge, and for the
Yeah,
appeals to
exactly.
whatever that happens on the outside. And then if they ever have to look at history, they'll say, oh, no, actually there was an illegible player, because an illegible player could be anything, bruh. It could be somebody who actually plays for another club and is coming here to sabotage and all of those things. You have to have legal footballers on the pitch. We had a very legal, the biggest criminal though. Let's speak the truth. The person who deserves to serve time, football time, and who needs to be brought to justice for yonke le nyaga nyaga is Brahim Diaz. That man, if he scores that penalty, we never have this conversation. None of this
It's
happens.
finished. We can talk about the fact that
was the
Morocco,
biggest crime on the day. Sure.
Yeah, we can talk about more the Morocco, what you call this, Senegal's, because remember
Keeper.
Senegal had their own penalty that was denied before the Morocco.
Yes.
So those are football.
Disallowed goal and like disallowed goal. Yeah.
Disallowed goal. Yes, you're right. Sorry, but those are just conversations we can have on the corridor to say, man, that game had they allowed that goal. Like how the United game went, where we were denied a penalty, they score, they get a penalty. It's one of those things where it happened. But like this, where after the fact you awarded, can you imagine with me if they told Manchester City, hey guys, you walked off during Champions League, so you didn't win the treble. What? How? You guys continued played.
La Pola le shapile round ya 10 minutes. No, it was a water break. No, you guys walked.
It's dumb. And also, I think one of the things that Temba highlighted was, if you think about the rules that they are trying to implement, the actual people that you should be blaming is not Morocco and Senegal, it's the officials. Because
Brahim Diaz.
Okay, yes, it's Brahim Diaz, but it's the officials because the law that they are trying to apply, 83 and 84, says the officials have to then take a decision to say the team walked off, therefore we are calling off the match. And we are going to report it to the officials, who can then take even further steps. That's what the rule actually says. It doesn't say the committee can come after the fact. It says that the referee is authorized to say, you walked off without my permission, therefore you forfeit. But the fact that the referee said, hey guys, let's just play.
Do you know?
Then sorry for Brahim Diaz not doing a stupid Panenka instead of scoring. Then it's his problem. We're supposed to move on with life. And the final thing I want to say that's funny to all of this is that now that Morocco has done this, a certain country called Guinea said, hang on, hold on, come here. You guys walked off in 76 when we played AFCON, and you guys got to win the AFCON. Can we also have our trophy back?
Imagine that.
Guinea wants this.
And that has to be entertained. That's the kind of worms you're opening. For me, the biggest thing here, I don't know, I think my earphones are losing power here. But anyway, for me, the thing is, you can't be saying, this thing was so much of an injustice that we even have the right to overturn the result. Because, first of all, that is as unprecedented as it gets. How many times do you hear post-mortem, these actual decisions are made to overturn the game? Whereas there's been so many instances in our footballing lives where injustices, the hand of God, how can I hand of God? That's something that happened. The replay is there. That is clearly something that was wrong that happened in the game. And then what? Well, it happened, and the referee had his responsibility to actually blow the whistle there and say it's a handball, but it didn't happen. And that is just how the game goes. And the most ironic thing, right? This whole what happens now and what you can do after, is that it actually happened that incident we were talking about earlier, Raimane, to say Uti, these people actually scored the goal, but they ruled it out because why? Because the decision to blow the whistle for the foul or whatever the ref blew for happened before. So you can't want to change what happened after the whistle. Now they spend a whole 2 months putting together a case of finding a loophole to change what happened after the whistle. That is a
After the
double standard
whistle,
if I've ever heard one, my guy.
it's
That is
very messy. And you know what's bizarre? If CAS decides to rule in favor of Senegal, are we making new posters to say, oh, never mind, the new champions are Senegal? Guys, do you understand how much of a clown we all look as a continent? Because remember, the world looks at Africa, the continent. They don't care that this is Morocco versus Senegal versus Guinea at this point. It's just these Africans, look at them. They can't even put together a competition without controversy. That's all it is to them.
they can't
We're
even
just a
decide
bunch
who
of
won.
idiots. Yeah, we're just a bunch of idiots. We don't even know the simple game of football. How to guys, come on.
Okay,
I
I'm
think
gonna
this
get a
team
little
should be
bit
better than Morocco.
philosophical here, Mfitz, actually. And I think you'll feel me where I'm coming from here, Mfitz. Why do I feel like there was extra controversy behind this AFCON? Jamie Carragher, not a serious tournament. Have I canceling too? And then what happened? And then we get into the tournament, and it's one of the most beautiful tournaments, one of the most entertaining tournaments, and everything on the surface looks hunky dory. Ati, after these bad things come out here, or these overturns come out, that's when the unseen injustices that were happening to everybody, but everybody was keeping quiet about them because they actually enjoyed the tournament, and they're like, you know what? We've known Morocco, Baropa. We played CAF Champions League before. We're not facing these things for the first time. Let's just play the tournament. And they kept quiet, basically protected them. They never said anything about the keeper and the towel and everything. And it was just that straw that broke the camel's back when they walked off. And they could have come back from that. And then they agreed, made them Horabaita over 10-year result. And now whatever show that they put on that looked so beautiful and is fail, it messed it all up. And that's pretty ironic, bruv.
This guys, bro.
It had a great reputation before that. It was just that walkout, hey, but it's football. Brahim Diaz missed the penalty, and then football gods did justice at the end of the game. Yay. No, maybe we can watch the next AFCON. They want to run it back, blood. Run it back.
I don't even know if this tournament has lost something because of this. But also, I've just decided that any team that's playing Morocco, I'm supporting you. Sundowns, if you're playing Moroccan teams, I'm supporting you. I've got an agenda from now until the end of time.
This thing will happen. This overturn will happen in fit. Okay, last but not least, let's go into the Bafana Bafana squad in fit 2. Just going to read it through very quickly. Ronan Williams, Goss, and Lena, the goalkeeping. 3 defenders, Mudau, Matuluding, Mr. Spisi, Mudiba, Ndamane, Ime Okon, Samkelo Kabini, Mbegezeli Mbogazi, TLP, and midfielders are Mr. Debo Mugena, Jaden Adams, Amatalenta Wafane, Mbata, Pepelo, Stole, and the forwards are Apolis, Morebi, Mahopa, Lyle Foster, Shongwane, the Presidente, Mshishi, and Tapeloma Sego. And it's going to be for, is it 2 friendlies against the same country or something?
I believe so. The first thing that I in this squad, among this guy Wako Sundowns that wasn't called up, and Hugo Bruce gives us some. Hey, Hugo Etlek is an enemy of progress. I've noticed him since this CAF Nje. He's been doing things. It's like he's achieved his goals of qualifying. Now he just wants to sabotage us. Or is it just me? Because he didn't want that guy who come on, Wako Sundowns is just scoring for fun, man. Come on, fun.
Reyners.
Yeah, man. Like, are we picking a squad on form?
No, I'll tell you about that question specifically. Reyners used to be in the squad, right? when was he called up to the squad for the first time? The previous CAF. Why did that happen? Because of the injury to Foster. He
Yeah,
wasn't he
I
wasn't
remember.
originally in the squad.
But the guy is on form. So are we choosing on form or are we choosing based on feelings? Because now I'm starting to lose trust in this Hugo guy. Personally, I don't want him to lead us to America, but here we are.
Yeah, as soon as we got out of that AFCON, nobody we was like, ish, so very, very ish. Yeah, and we already told him that we trust him for this tournament, and then can't change anything. Ish. So we're basically all putting up with him. And he had controversy going into that very CAF that's off the field, player related. I personally don't think he actually has the dressing room, and I don't know how long that has been going on for. And so he's trying to exert his dominance and compensate outside. With all due respect,
But is it gonna not cost us? Because
it already
now
has.
I'm expecting at the very least, like let's be honest. This friendly aside, I don't give a damn about this friendly because clearly the manager doesn't care. Because friendlies are the right time to experiment and bring in people who are performing now that you might have not considered previously, right? Isn't that the whole point of friendlies? But again, conspiracy theories. I just think this man is not. He's not here. He's not here with us. Okay, he's in. Is he from Belgium? He's at home. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. Because this guy said he's leaving us after this. And also, this the guy, Hugo, bro. Do you hear yourself when you talk? This guy is talking about planning for the future, but I'm like, my guy, what future? You said you gone after this. This guy, bro.
Hey, did he seriously say something about the future?
Yeah, he was talking about the whole goalkeeping and how they chose the goalkeepers, and I think one of them, come on. Anyway, but yeah, it was around the
Yeah,
goalkeeping.
that Lena guy. That's his
Yeah,
experiment that he's trying to experiment with. I'm happy about Adams being in the squad. I'm not happy about Bodlela being in the squad. I really would have liked to have seen Kekana, but even if Bodlela stayed in the squad, at least find some space for Kekana. I really want to see him play.
but how
Um,
you gonna find space when you keep picking the people that you are used to? Are you watching the league at all? Like at all?
you know, Prayaga, we have to just think back at the big games that have happened. I know we have played you once, we've played Sundowns once, and you're going to expect the national team coach to be at all those matches and the cameras to be in his face. Do you remember such a thing happening? Maybe with the derby. I don't know about any other supposed big game this season so far,
Mm.
especially since Kev.
I
He
can't
hasn't
think
really
from
been around, bro. He hasn't really been around. But his attitude for me, I think he's gone to he's taken everything off the pitch and he wants to, like I said, he doesn't want to do the fighting with his players personally anymore. I don't believe that. I don't believe after those comments, TLB and Chicago Fire, that
yeah,
he's the kind of yeah.
he's been very unhappy about that. And even when the press is asking him about Mbogazi and how he's doing, he's very touchy about that. That's why I'm a little bit concerned. The squad, dude, it's not that bad. There are people we would have added, people we would have subtracted. But for the most part, I feel like South African football is in a good enough place where we should be doing well with these guys. You get what I'm saying? My
Mm.
concern is the coach because what I saw in CAF concerned me. Playing so defensively and being scared of Egypt when you've clearly been in better form than them since the last AFCON. Dude. You have no reason to approach games that way. To experiment with players in the knockout stages. Was that fair to him? Let's be honest. Put him in the knockout stages when you had the whole group stages to introduce them. Like, I'm just concerned about how Hugo is going to utilize the team more so than the team itself. I don't know if that makes sense, KB.
I get you 100%. Let me read a couple of comments and I'll give you my final thoughts on him and we can wrap this one up. So it is Mr. Chaos saying, "Horror player of the season is Mufokeng, of course. Senegal getting stripped was never needed. The football gods made it hard. Have made it hard for football now. No, it's not the football gods. It's Morocco, and it is every and their allies." And then he
Is the
ends off by
football
saying,
underlord in hell?
The
Those
football
ones.
deep state.
Yes.
Hugo Bruce and technical team don't work as a team. The national team gets picked by someone we don't know. Oh, we know him all right. It's just that we thought we knew him, but clearly he's showing us we don't know him. This man, Hugo Bruce. During that calf, I kind of looked back and I was like, Hannah, why is he famous again? Come on, we nigga Cameroon and whatever. And I was like, oh, I see this guy. So from the first calf, I feel like a lot of decisions that he made were actually forced and it didn't actually go according to his actual plan. And we ended up doing well because basically people were given the freedom to do stuff because it was like, ish, yeah, you know what? He kind of had a hands-off approach, I remember, in that
Yeah.
tournament. And then we did well. He then got credit in the bank to start
Doing his
making
thing.
decisions that he doesn't need advice from and doesn't need your advice and doesn't, hey, when I get to a semi-final when now so a guy. So it was like, okay, Mr. Hugo. And then we had a good time from then, and Mofokeng started getting into the team, and it was like, yeah, all right, Mr. Bruce, you're doing well. But then when I saw that calf, I saw this man, when you give him everything he wants and he's not forced into anything, he will give you a team that's tough to beat. And I remember during the qualifiers also, hey, that 3-0 really was a big scare because we needed favors to actually qualify for the World Cup so cleanly. And there was a game against Nigeria, I believe. I don't know if we beat them or if we drew. But there was a game where we were expecting a win and we drew, and he was like, oh, your point is enough from Fair 2. And he basically made a promise that in the last game, you will see the most attacking football that we have played before. So basically,
Yeah. We
he doesn't,
played and drew. I
nah,
remember. Yeah.
and we could have won it, and we were the ones who were conservative. That
Yeah.
man, he believes I am coaching African players. This is African football. I just need to be tough to beat because these are Africans. Instead of realizing we're more like a Spain kind of Brazil kind of, we need the ball on the ground. Don't worry, we'll make some magic happen. He thinks, they are fast. I will play in Kota and Mufukeng and whoever else is fast. Hey. So I think he's just got a certain philosophy that actually doesn't work with what we
Yeah,
enjoy.
it's very anti-us, man. Especially like if you watch Pirates and Sundowns, that's effectively our national team. What about how those teams play is the approach you are taking? It's dumbfounding to me. You also, for me, why don't you just partner Bogazi with somebody he's always playing with? I felt like that was a mistake as well. Because now the boy has to do a lot more than usual because now personally, his partner was not helping him in my even the fullback on the other side. I
It's
don't know.
lost the class.
Hugo. I no man. If we lose or go out in the first round in the World Cup, I feel that's more embarrassing than getting knocked out in 2010. Because 2010, like we had flipping Mexico, France, and Uruguay.
Uruguay.
It's understandable. It's tough. We almost made it over the line with the final game. But I'm not losing to no. With all due respect, I don't care. Asia Cup, shout out to you guys. I'm not losing to South Korea. Okay,
Yo.
I'm not losing to no damn Mexico or Jordan or whoever. That group is winnable, but Hugo Bruce is the enemy of progress, guys. I'm telling you right now. And the fact that he's not happy with some of our players, it scares me. It scares me. I'm gonna tell you that for free right now.
He's got that kind of stubborn thing where it's like, you want me to do what? Say that again? Okay, thank you very much. Let me do the opposite and you'll see how you feel about that. Thank you very much. He's such a contrarian, bruh. But I think, yeah, Fede, um, if if he picks the right people to go to the World Cup, we're at least one step forward. And I think we're maybe 4 or 5 players shy. I'm not sure. And we probably won't learn much when it comes to these friendlies because we're not going to see scintillating attacking football, are we? Are we really
We're not
against
that well
Panama?
equipped,
Are we going to
bro.
show how well we can keep a clean sheet against Panama? Is that what we're about to watch this international break?
As long as we respect them, because the one thing Bafana can't afford to do is to relinquish any sort of momentum, no matter who you're playing. We want to go into the tournament as strongly as possible. So yeah, we're not gonna see the best of Bafana, but I at least hope the mentality from the guys is to respect the opponent that's been placed in front of them. And if they are weak, we beat them decisively. That's it. That's all we do. We beat you decisively. We move on with life. But Bafana, no man. Shout out to the away kit though. I'm getting that.
Yeah,
I'm getting that.
The
I'm getting
Adidas
that.
kits are tough. They are tough. Yeah, no. Good luck with your chronic Kaizer Chiefs disease. We can shake hands for the next couple of days as we have this international break. I think we will have another episode before we play again. So that will be that from us, Mfethu. Always fantastic to speak to you. And yeah, man, good luck with that Kaizer Chiefs disease, my guy. That was the Giants of Soweto. I believe this is the first successful episode, so we can say, Guti, be tuned in for the next one. Go into the comments there. What do you feel about the squad that we have? Is it Senegal or is it Morocco that wins the moral argument in this whole debacle? And tell me any joke that involves the number 6 in it. And that is it from me, the host KB, Happy People TV.
Hayi, isigamakepula sakepula umhlaba kamasipala sewubhekisa phezulu. Happy